DOMS. What are DOMS? Well, DOMS is an acronym short for Delayed Onset of Muscle Soreness. And it's basically referring to that soreness that you feel the day after, or possibly even the day after that, after a training session. Now, what causes it? We don't really know, to be honest. We have theories, we don't know for definite, but when you train and you subject the body to a stress it's not accustomed to, there's normally a bit of trauma in the body, whether it's the muscles tear slightly or even the tendons and ligaments. There's a little bit of damage that happens internally. Now it's good damage, we've talked about this before. We want a little bit of damage because then we repair the damage and we kind of overcompensate, and we normally lay down a few extra cells to compensate for it, which is how everything progresses and becomes stronger. It happens usually sort of 12 to 72 hours after exercise, after you finish the training session. To be honest, these days for me it starts kicking in about halfway through the training session. It doesn't even wait for 12 hours. But that's what the DOMS is. Now it's particularly bad when there's an emphasis on the eccentric portion of a movement pattern. So if I'm squatting, when I go down in the squat, that's the eccentric part. So that's when my muscles are under tension, but they're getting longer. And there seems to be a much stronger link between eccentric training and the DOMS. So if you don't want the DOMS, avoid eccentric training. If you do want the DOMS, do loads of eccentric training. A lot of bodybuilders believe that that's where the growth occurs, so they'll spend a lot of time working on the eccentric part of the movement. Olympic lifters, their job is to get a bar off the floor and above their head as quickly as they can. That's actually all concentric. There's no eccentric part of that movement, so they actually don't tend to waste their time doing too much of the eccentric part, which is why they have these big bumper plates. So when they get the bar up, they get it above their head and then they just ditch it. If they weren't, they'd have to go down to the shoulders and then back down to the floor, and that's all eccentric. And by eliminating the eccentric part of the movement, you can just keep practicing again and again and again, and you can come back the next day and you can do it all again without any soreness. Well, that's the theory anyway.